In this video, we're going to start by a concrete example where we can observe what deeply listening is not. And by that, you will hopefully get a better understanding of the power that lies within the skill of deeply listening. Active listening, as the word says, keeps you active, keeps your mind active. If you really want to listen to someone on a deeper level and see something new in a conversation, really help the person in front of you to explore something new for themselves, I encourage you to explore to deeply listen. And how this is done and what the difference is between active listening and deeply listening, I will share with you in this video on a concrete example, which really shows the power of deeply listening by how the interviewer is not deeply listening. If you're interested in learning more, just keep watching. So I stumbled upon the following video where the interviewer asked a really powerful question. What then happens is interesting. So I encourage you to just watch the following clip. Pay attention to what feelings or thoughts come up. Maybe you notice a few things and you already might have some thinking around it or some ideas what the difference is between active listening and deeply listening. And then in the end, I'm gonna catch up with you and I'm gonna share with you the powerful insights that can be gathered from this clip. And I'm gonna share a tip with you what you can do to practice the skill of deeply listening. Enjoy, and I see you after this clip.
Married?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Is he happy?
Oh, that's a weird question. Usually they ask if I'm happy.
Yeah, but like, it's a different kind of an interview. I'm just, because he's not here, like, I want to show my care for him as well. Is he happy? Your answer is yes, no? You don't wanna answer that question?
No.
I think it's okay. I think we got the answer.
Who we?
That's me and the camera guy. You got it, bro?
Well, fuck and fuck.
So what are your thoughts on this video? What came up for you? I was getting a little anxious because I was like, at first I thought it's a really, really powerful question to not ask someone about themselves, but rather about the partner, which totally changes perspectives and brings another level of truth to any situation. We don't know all the surroundings and the circumstances, and I haven't really investigated what this interview was really about. So yes, there might be more information that we are not aware of that brings again another perspective to that situation. But just given that video, let's use that as an example of exploring deeply listening. The interviewer is not really present, not really listening and showing up to the person in front of him, but rather having his own agenda of trying to make a point here. And I get that. This is just my perspective. I'm really curious what you feel, but I get that from him not listening, not wanting to listen deeply. He asked a really powerful question, and you can pick up on her reaction that she's irritated and that she really tries to gather her thoughts and really is looking for something new here, exploring the unknown, which is so powerful. What happens next is that the interviewer keeps pushing her, keeps forcing an answer by implying things. And that made me so uncomfortable just watching, and it's like, why? Oh my God. And then she responds, of course, this is what we do. We feel like we're being cornered in a way and need to answer something and get distracted by the follow-up question that we're being asked. We're not being very practiced in this understanding that we can easily get distracted by what this original question was really about. So a huge opportunity is be taken away from both, which is so sad. If you look at the video again, watch for that tiny moment where you can really feel how she's irritated and then something is happening within her. And she tries to form an answer. And it might be a really emotional response she was about to come to. We don't know if she would have shared it or not, but it's not about that. It's rather about the interviewer not being connected with inner wisdom, how I love to call it, but rather having his own agenda, as it appears. How cool would have been if the interviewer would have allowed her to form an answer, and instead of making an outside point of whatever he was trying to make, so instead of him following his agenda, as it seems, to stay in the flow and keep exploring together with her as a team partner what comes up. And it's always important to understand that there is not a chain of questions that are implying this is deeply listening and this is active listening. It's not about that. It's rather about the feeling. It's always about the feeling that you get within a conversation. And then when you allow that uncomfortable moment, something that might feel uncomfortable, like silence, to be there, something new and unknown has the chance to be born. And we can connect with that, pick up on that. In that moment, how I would say we are connected to our own inner wisdom. The other person might be connected to their own inner wisdom. Both partners are connected to wisdom, so they're together in this field of common ground, of universal wisdom, of the intelligence of life, connected to all of that, and something beautiful can unfold. Those chances are being missed the moment we're getting anxious and we believe that anxiousness, that we need to say something, that we need to fill this void as it feels, that uncomfortable, unknown void with our voice, with following up on something that is coming from thinking and not inspired by inner wisdom. So this is basically what I saw in this video. The missed chance of him really being open to a new conversation, listening to what comes out of her soul searching. There was so much activity within her of, wow, what was that question? Oh my God. Like when I listened to that, I was like, oh my God, there's so many things like happening right now. It was so active where I felt like, you cannot ask a question. How can you ask a question? How can you do that? But of course, we all do that because we're not being used to listen deeply. And this is why I love to share this understanding, because it is so powerful. It gives us the flexibility to really feel ready for any moment, because we practice to being aware of this inner wisdom being by our side. And when we know that this is by our side, we're not alone in any situation, that this wisdom is available to all of us in any moment, then the outside becomes less threatening and we don't need to be active, but we can rather be really relaxed in any conversation that we go into, because we know our wisdom will give us the necessary impulses and curiosity to follow up on a distinct path. But we don't need to know the path before. You can trust your inner wisdom So, what can you do to practice deeply listening? A really good first step would be to pay attention the next time you're in a conversation with someone. How much are you actively trying to think about what to respond, and how present are you? By just being aware of that, how much active thinking you are doing while being with another person, how much are you preparing what are you going to say next? This is a really good starting point to just being aware of that. So just keep practicing that, your awareness on noticing when you're getting distracted by thinking and not truly listening to what the other person is sharing with you. By practicing to observe how you are listening, you already invite and you already create a new perspective on any situation. And you will see, because this is the beautiful thing, it will all unfold naturally in beautiful ways. And I encourage you to keep exploring. More tips, as I said, in the next couple of videos. So enjoy.